Sandra, as Israel inches closer to launching that massive ground operation into Gaza, there are growing concerns that Israel may be forced to fight a two-front war with the Iranian-backed terror group Hezbollah in Lebanon. I had the chance to speak with the former Israeli ambassador to the United States, Michael Oren, on the streets of Tel Aviv. Oren knows a thing or two about war in the Middle East. We're on the streets of Tel Aviv with Michael Oren. He's the former Israeli ambassador to the United States. You and I spent a lot of time together in the northern front in the war against Hezbollah in 2006. You also wrote the definitive treatise on the Six-Day War from 1967. But what's going on in this neighborhood as a result of the war?
Hey, John, this is Florentine. This is one of the coolest neighborhoods of Tel Aviv. It's like the East Village of Tel Aviv. It's full of bars. It's full of great restaurants. Right, we're in front of a jazz club. Here is one of the premier jazz clubs in Tel Aviv. It's called the Hudna, which is very funny. It's Arabic for ceasefire. You can't make that up. But you see it's closed, and the bar across the street is a very popular bar. Everything's closed.
So as this war against Hamas continues, based on what you know of military operations, you were a volunteer spokesman for the IDF when we first met. What do you think is going to happen in the days, maybe weeks ahead?
Well, Hamas is going to fight. It's going to fire off all of its rockets. It probably has between 10 and 15,000 rockets. They can reach Tel Aviv. They are reaching Tel Aviv. They fired a rocket the other day that reached northern Israel, so they can reach northern Israel as well. And they will paralyze our economy. You don't see any tourists here. This is an area that's famous for its wall art. You can see the beautiful wall art around. There's usually buses here every day, people doing tours. So economically, they're going to exact a tremendous high price in terms of human life, our soldiers' life, a high price, and in terms of the Palestinian population, they want their Palestinian people to get killed. I know that's completely alien to you, but they're using them as human shields. And they want to get a situation where we're accused of war crimes. And the international community will stop us.
You were in charge of Gaza.
Yes.
Back in 2018 as a member of the Israeli government. What are IDF troops facing as they go in there?
They're facing a nightmare for any infantryman, certainly, is to go into an area that was densely populated, but not just that. It's a warren of alleyways and cul-de-sacs and barricades, and underneath it's all tunnels and underground bunkers. It's booby-trapped, it's wired, it's mined. And you can't get a more inhospitable, more perilous environment for an infantryman. So we're going to move cautiously. We want to reduce as much as possible the level of casualties on our side. We want to reduce the casualties on the civilian side. But we're going to have to get to Hamas. It's not going to be easy. They are using their own population as human shields. They're going to be now using these hostages as human shields. Hamas does not want the population to evacuate because it wants them to get killed.
In 2006, the war lasted, the fighting lasted about 33 days. How long do you think this is going to last?
This could last many weeks. Again, it depends on whether a second front opens up. I think the Israeli army is going to want to move as swiftly as possible, if for no other reason is at this level of mobilization. You're talking about a huge percentage of our workforce, and it's the most productive part of our workforce. These are young women and men in their 20s, in their 30s. It's our high-tech sector. So the costs here are enormous. So the idea is to get this done as quickly as possible, to demobilize these troops, to start rebuilding, and it's going to be a process. Hopefully it won't take longer than several weeks.
You are also suggesting, though, that when you've got this many reservists mobilized along with active duty forces, if you're going to do something, now is the time to do it.
Definitely, because to get this level of mobilization takes a long time. It's immensely expensive and disruptive to life. And so you can't do this every Tuesday.
Michael, what happened here and when?
It was a direct hit about 2 days ago, about 100 yards from my house.
Wow. Did you hear the explosion?
Oh. Whole neighborhood shook. But you can see what one of these bombs, some of our critics will say they're firing firecrackers at us. I like to see the firecracker that takes down a building like this.
What was this building before, do you know?
Just an apartment house. And there are people here in the neighborhood who are injured and they're hospitalized.
So these are not smart bombs. These are just dumb bombs that are being fired from Gaza and they'll land.
No, the idea is to kill civilians. Yeah. All right, not to take out a strategic, target. It's just to drop them and create terror. That's what creates. It's the very fact that they're so inaccurate is what creates the terror.
And it could get worse.
It will get worse.
To show you how close that bomb came, Oren's house is the apartment building that's just right behind there.